welcome to your final portion of your motto project. I want to walk you through everything, and hopefully, this should give you a bit of a breather. I am giving you guys 2 weeks to complete this. It's 2 photos, 2 different setups. So hopefully, you can get it done in over the weekend, and then you have basically a week to kind of rest and recharge. I know the kinetic typography was a major headache for a lot of you. So this is meant to give you guys a lot of time to be creative, a lot of time to really plan this out. This is not a project that you can do last minute because it takes 2 very different setups. Um, and I really want you to just kind of sketch out some ideas and then really kind of think about what it is. As far as the photography, you can use your cell phone, does not matter, to take the images. So, first and foremost, I want to remind you that Ariel is coming. Speaking of your photo project, she's doing a Zoom lecture on March 26th. That's worth 20 points extra credit. If you hop on, I will know who's hopped on and everything. So, if you hop on and do like a 1 page recap of what she said, extra bonus points to anyone who asks her a question in the Q&A. But anyway, yeah, her work is sprinkled throughout this assignment. You'll see a lot of her work I use as examples. So she is amazing. Please go, go to that lecture. 20 points extra credit. Okay. Oh, and also you have to register for it. So that's all there. Secondly, so on Amazon, if you guys have Amazon Prime, Stefan Sagmeister is like the absolute king of environmental typography. In the film, he works with Jessica Walsh. You'll see her. She's in all the setups. She's got the dark hair. So Jessica Walsh is actually who Ariel works for currently. So Jessica and Stefan Sagmeister had a company, and then he kind of not semi-retired, but he didn't want to do the advertising anymore. And so Jessica Walsh and Ariel are working together. So it's really cool. If you watch this film, you'll see Ariel's boss in it. But anyway, throughout the film, you just see all of basically everything Stefan Sagmeister does is what your assignment is. Being creative, thinking about ways to create words and messages with materials and different ways to convey that. So I put a couple examples. It's an hour and a half. It's really kind of funny. It's a little self-indulgent. He admits it in the film, but here's the link if you have Amazon Prime and you want to watch it. And here's the trailer for it right here. This chair is made up of letters, which I think is really awesome. So just some examples of his environmental typography. I really love this one. And then it comes to your assignment. So the first part of your assignment, and I've mentioned this to several of you, you're taking 2 photos of your motto. These need to be 2 different setups. I don't want you to take one photo and then just rearrange a couple things and then take the other photo and you're done. These need to be 2 different concepts. Okay, so with one, you're working with flat design or a tabletop design. You are going to just on the ground, on a table, on any sort of surface, you are going to construct your motto with materials that make sense for your motto. Okay, so here we've got pop, and it's made of actual popcorn. Um, I've had students who've done the motto "Let It Burn," and they actually use flames. I'll show you that example in a second. Um, but for both of these, the materials should be thought of. It can't just be like, oh, I just thought that I would use, um, this because it was available. Really think about what your motto means, what kinds of materials would reflect that, and kind of enhance that idea. So here you're going to take an aerial shot, like a bird's eye view of your motto. So really, food photography is great, or food photography, food environmental typography really does this well. You see this in advertisements all the time, where they actually spell out mottos with the food. Um, this is Ariel's. I would consider this the flat design. Put the kettle on with, you know, um, coffee beans, chocolate spelled with chocolate. So again, a lot of food, flowers, leaves. I would consider this flat design if you are going to carve something out and then photograph it from above. Something like this, noodle, half baked. I had someone who did pie, and they wrote, life is, as American as apple pie, and they had cut out the letters, baked a pie, and took a photo of it from above. So this, and then this video shows you someone from the design process, from sketching something out to creating it, but this would be considered flat. So your other photo is working with typography in space. This will not be the same. For this, you need to think about how you can interact with space, not a tabletop, not like, just looking down. You need to construct your motto, but think about how it's going to interact with in a more three-dimensional form. Okay, so here you're interacting. Stefan Sagmeister does this a lot where he'll cut things out, and the environment is really working with the typography. So this would be considered working through space. Anytime you have cutouts with letters and you're placing them in the environment, here you're working in a more three-dimensional form. Even if you had long exposure with sparklers and you were spelling words out, that would be environmental typography. You're working with space here, working with space. These are all examples, and these are Ariel's photos in a kind of like a smaller scale, but she's got the typography, but she's working in a setup that involves more, the space, okay? So she's working in something that there's a lot of context to this. Um, a lot of shadows work with the space. That would be a really interesting idea. Even if you had written the words on a person, it's more three-dimensional. So those are the two different types. I hope that makes sense. When I first gave this assignment, students were confused, like what makes them different. Hopefully this makes sense. One is tabletop, one is working with the environment. Here's an example of 7 environmental typographers and their work. So you'll see this would be working with space. This is working with space, working with space. This could be a flat design. It's hard to see how that's kind of worked out. Working with space, flat design here. And then here's your assignment, 75 points, midnight, March 27th. These are a couple examples that I really liked. Shelby did the Up in Flames. She had a couple different versions of this. I think this is, I forget what she had on the side. This is on the sidewalk outside, but she had actually set this on fire. And then Jenny had created, mystical, not logical, not logistical. I'm sorry. Um, it's her own kind of phrase, her own motto that she lives by. But she created this for her three-dimensional one, and then for her flat design, she had actually written it out on the cake and she took a photo of it from above. So hopefully this helps you guys, and you've got 2 weeks to do it. So good luck.